Hello everybody. I'm here trying to choose what type of game I would like to do for my first playthrough in the channel. And honestly, I needed something that at the same time I was familiar with, that I know I will like, but also something to get surprised at. So I decided to start over in a game that I already played a little bit. I already played some Hades, as you can see. Not a lot, really, but some, a good amount. I got to the last. I already got to Elysium up until the second boss, where it's the double team tag battle of death, and then I got fucking body, and then I gave up until I decided to come back to it later. But there's so much of this game that I didn't get to yet, and at the same time, it's a game that I like a lot. The 7 escape attempts total that I got in both of those here, it was pretty good. The game was a great roguelike, the way it played. And I like the art direction, the story, the music, everything just kind of clicks. It scratches my itch for adaptive gameplay very well. It also plays well as in a physical sense. It just controls well, has good adaptability, that everyone's well characterized. I fucking love the entire cast, but I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it at all. I'm not even close to finishing it. I have 5 hours in this game total, and that's not very much. I didn't even beat the game once. So I thought this would be, a good time to start playing from the beginning and record myself. Just for prosperity, just so I know what I was doing with my life for the next 5 hours or so. So let's get started. No hell mode because I'm a bitch. I didn't even finish the game once. Sorry.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale.
I love narration, folks.
Listen carefully.
And also, 3 heads because Zagreus has a Cerberus arm guard. There are a lot to these designs, and a lot of it is pretty obvious. They have what I can only describe as very standard interpretation of the mythos, mythos, whatever, of Greek myth, of Greeks. And honestly, that's for the better, because it allows other aspects to be easily understood, like the character design. No one has to think about what the fuck he was trying to tell us by having Zagreus, the Prince of Hell, have a 3-headed arm guard, because his best boy is Hades, and not Hades. His best boy is Cerberus, and therefore he has an arm guard of him. It's just that simple. It's endearing, it's meaningful, and it looks good too. So it's base, one might say. I would just say this has been pretty fun. You have these basic enemies here. This little dude that asks, this guy shoots poison out of you. It's magic, who cares? There's that other guy, he just stomps on you. He's also trash. It's pretty good. It's pretty good with super armor though, somehow. Or maybe because I'm bad. Probably because I'm bad. But let's get our first blessing here with my lady Athena.
It's got to be her. Then here goes nothing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin. Now, let's get you from that miserable place. I'll see that all of us upon Olympus do our part, beginning here with me.
The highly stylized the highly stylized art style of this game makes me forget that sometimes people are just, have purple skin, red skin, blue skin. That rendition of Athena's design is a pretty good one. It has a pretty obvious color scheme. That's of course because your powers are color coded as well. So the gods' designs have to play into that in some way. But just in general, in order to make aesthetically pleasing Pantheon, you gotta diversify the colors. And they made somehow Dionysium and Persephone, no, the fucking big bitch. I forgot the name of the goddess of love of Greek mythology. I'm a huge cunt, sorry. Anyway, despite the fact that they're purple and pink, colors that a lot of the time mesh together in those drug-infused stupor in aesthetics, it generally becomes very easy to distinguish between them. And honestly, that's just a result of the great character design. And also the fact that the goddess of love is mostly naked and is also very clearly female-ish, while Dionysian is very clearly male-ish, party guy, dude bro. And yeah, I just think that design is neat. Anyway, we're over here. I'm not talking about the enemies very much because they suck, but also I somehow suck more because I'm getting hit by the easiest traps of all time. Sorry. Anyway, let's start. This guy, look, the enemies of this game vary a lot in terms of quality of gameplay, but they are generally at least alright until they get super armor, in which case they become obviously unfair. However, I can dash and they can, so even if they have clear advantages over me, there's nothing really they can do to escape me. So I'm fine with giving them super armor, despite the fact that I generally dislike super armor as a boss mechanic in other games. Because here, well, I'm the god here. I'm overpowered. Oh hey, super armor! Speak of the devil, baby. Speak of the devil, baby. Anyway, the reason why I generally accept super armor here, while I don't in other games, is because in this game, you are the overpowered guy. You are the god, they are the mortal spirits trying to get you, trying to keep you from escaping. So in general, like, you can keep fighting. Anyway, like, I'm the overpowered one here. There is no illusion that this is a fair fight, like in, let's say, Mega Man. Like, Storm Eagle is base. Storm Eagle has enough moves to be a playable character, and yet I'm supposed to deal with super armor, right? I think that's kind of bullshit. So, by making the division of power so clear that I'm overpowered and everyone else is underpowered in comparison, hell, I even have the power of other gods to help me. It makes a clear delineation on what's acceptable and what isn't, and in turn makes me feel like my deaths are a result of my own incompetence instead of the result of like unfair gameplay mechanics. You feel me? I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm being clear enough, because I'm trying to also play the game, and this is harder than it looks when you're trying to make meaningful commentary. Oh, this mini-boss is so base! This OST is busted too. Anyway, the double bomber, guys, is actually the only good version of this bomber fight. There are bomber enemies later in like the fire lake level, and honestly, I kinda hate it. I kinda hate them a lot. But this boss fight, it's thoughtful, it's meaningful, it has a good use of super armor, has a good use of trying to guess at which point they're going to jump, of using their attacks against them. Fuck. You always will have Athena for this fight, so you can reflect the bombs. Base. This fight is just perfectly designed. The only time that I actually like these guys, the other versions of them that like do suicide bomb runs, that throw shit at you worse, I don't like them nearly as much. These guys though, they're so good.
You've got quite the fighting spirit in you there, I have to say. Most intriguing, and yet no surprise for someone born in hell itself. You come on out of there and tell me all about it. I'm a fellow student of death, you see.
As you can see, as you can see on this Ares design. Ares is one of the more popular Greek gods, just because he's been in a lot more shit. So anyway, this design, I think, is perfectly an encapsulation of why I like the Hades renditions of the gods. He's very clearly using a lot of signifiers of his divinity, like the little leaves on his head, and a bunch of clearly warlike things with a bunch of red, because that's his color scheme due to the powers that he gives you. He has to be color coded with one primary color, and because of it, he has to like somehow be distinct from the other gods. but he's mostly like gray and white, despite the fact that his primary color of his powers is red. And I think that's a good design decision that allows the gods to feel distinctively color without making them literal Power Rangers.
Me or them.
Anyway, just bonus damage. I'm a basic bitch, sorry. Let's go. As you can see, I'm fucking dying. I have literally 3 HP. So, I just wanna get to Magreth, really. Oh, I dashed into that one. That was pretty bad on my part. This first run was kinda bad. You have very good RNG because I always have Athena's blessing, and I still fucked it up. So yeah, that one is on me. And that's the best way to feel after you die in a video game, that it was your fault. Now we are introduced with some of the supporting characters that you don't meet at the beginning, so to not break up the flow of gameplay too much. First of them is...
Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad though, pretty much everybody dies sometime.
Everybody dies sometime indeed. Hypnos, the sleep incarnate. Thanatos is doing some dumb shit somewhere, apparently. I didn't even meet him yet, and I'm kinda mad about that. I wanna meet Thanatos. There's Achilles. Well, Achilles, like he's healed. Kino. Anyway, he's a pretty cool guy from what I've seen of him in this game. His interpretation of the character is pretty straightforward. He's a hero, he's in hell, he's helping you. It's pretty basic, but good. The narrator is a huge cunt, and the reason why I realized that begins at around here.
The appointed lair of the underworld's king is home not just to him, but to his willful progeny.
You know I can hear you, old man.
Also, it's pretty good that Zagreus can hear the narrator. This will be used for comedic effect and for plot revelations later with the whole Persephone's Nyx switcheroo, which, if you know anything about Greek mythology, should be pretty obvious from the moment Nyx calls herself Zagreus' mother.
Nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead. So how was your wanton ransacking of my domain?
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight, thank you for asking. So I'll just be on my way again.
Be on your way indeed. What do I care? You shall never reach the surface. Go, see for yourself.
Now, I get Hades is trying to make a point by allowing us to escape and yet trusting that his traps will keep us in hell. But like, considering the things that he's going to do, like trap us in rooms so that his minions can get to us, be very mad at like Zagreus because she fails to stop us, be very mad in general every time we progress. Honestly, my dude, you should probably get off this fucking chair right now if you really gave a fuck. You're being very, very petty, and that's good, because that's how I like my Greek gods, baby. Petty and mean.
Do not despair,
And I also like them
Such
kind
setbacks are
and mommy.
inevitable and may be overcome with effort and with time. He made contact with the goddess Athena. She shall be true to her word.
Now, I do not know if the 3 skulls on Nyx are because she's trying to mend in with the 3 heads. What was the name? The 3 heads pattern, the motif, the 3-headed motif of Hades' family because of Cerberus, or it's because of the 3 Gorgonas. I don't know. I haven't read any Greek myths lately, and I don't care enough to search. But considering that her earrings have 4 each instead of 3, I say she's doing a pretty bad job if she's trying to do her best Hades impression.
The contact. I know you took a considerable risk in reaching out.
The risk is not to me. I expected the Olympians would involve themselves in this eventually. Reveal to them no more than they already know. Are we understood?
Despite aligning themselves with the Olympians,
Hey, I'm back.
can I already do that? Oh,
Night indeed.
This is broken. Anyway, despite aligning themselves with the Olympians, neither Zagreus or Nyx seem to like them very much. And I think that's another cool touch about pantheons. Like, they're not at war at each other's throats, like literally leaving each other to die God of War style, but they are not on friendly good boy terms either. I like the complicated relationships of gods in this rendition. Despite having seen like basically what, a tenth of them at most in my original save file, I already feel like they're doing a bang up job at making the gods feel not only distinct, as in their personalities are unique. They also feel unique in the way they relate to each other, and that's just cool. Do I even have one? Yes. I don't want the bow. It kind of sucks ass. Sorry.
I'm ready. Thunder. Is this really him? Okay. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Greetings there, young man. Look, your father's always been rather difficult, and he's not so much as called in quite some time. You'll have a better home where you belong, here on Olympus. And to help you on your journey, have my blessing.
The Hades Zeus design. Okay. The design of Zeus for the game Hades is actually pretty standard, and I don't know if I like that or not. I'm kinda conflicted, because aside from the detailing on the artwork, it's pretty standard white guy with a beard and thunder powers. But I think it kinda works, so I'm not going to complain very much, considering the diversity in both color and format that the other gods take.
Composed of such innumerable, ever-shifting, interlocking chambers, the underworld of Lord Hades all but guarantees the dead shall there remain until the end of time.
Good thing I'm not dead.
Huh.
Let's deal some death.
Anyway, the blessing of Zeus that I got was ultimately the one that strengthens your special attack with thunder bullshit. And a lot of the blessings are kinda not that cool or distinctive. Like, the Hades version of this is inflicting his special debuff that does damage after a delay. And
It has its own reward.
that's like fundamentally the same thing as this, but it does more damage but with a delay. And it's red, which is a bonus. So really, like, not every blessing is distinctive or good, but since they play off each other, I think it's fine that they're not that distinctive since they play on each other. Like, thunder blessings have synergy in the same way that Poseidon synergies have. Poseidon blessings, I mean.
I heard about you. Look, I'm not like all the others on Olympus. The power of the hunt helps keep me company, so maybe it'll help you too.
Anyway, I never liked the cast. It's just not cool. Dash attack's pretty good and consistent. However, I love high rolling, ladies and gentlemen.
The power of the hunt sounds like good company to keep.
I love high rolling. So,
What a fight.
and what the tooltip doesn't tell you is that dash attack counts as an attack. So if something strengthens your attack, it also strengthens your dash attack by proxy, which I think is a distinctive enough difference that it should be highlighted. But that's me. Maybe it was obvious to everyone else and I'm just stupid. Anyway.
The underworld's power.
Centaurian hearts are so cool. Like the way they're designed. Mwah, just chef's kiss. Thunder! Something. Go Home with the Thunder by Imagine Dragons. These skulls are not very distinctive. The designs are pretty basic. and I just don't care much for them. Treasures though, treasures are pretty cool. Super armor, I love super armor. Like, they for the first time make me realize that the basic enemies have attack patterns and stuff, because I can't just stun lock them to death. That's pretty cool. But anyway,
Gemstones.
gemstones.
Claiming these.
Okay, now this is what I like this game. This is a roguelike staple, but having to make these types of decisions, mwah, I love them, folks. I love them. I'm going to double down on Artemis because I'm not a cheating bitch who fucks multiple gods. I'm not Zeus to go fucking multiple people at once, thinking he's the god of the world. Because that's the meme, right? That Zeus is a pre-infidelist god. Anyway, I don't think that was very funny. However, see, another good thing about this game is that the enemies have simple enough attack patterns that you can throw them, multiple of them, at the screen at the same time and have them play off each other instead of having to come up with unique enemies. I think that's a plus. I think it keeps the gameplay from feeling stale without actually making new enemies. And that's the only way you can like be stuck in a certain part of the map, like I was on the double tag team deathmatch in Elysium, and still feel fresh every couple of playthroughs or so.
Olympus, I accept this message.
This is better, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Like, I don't even know why the fuck I'm talking about Hades since it's been literally 1 year since the release. But well, it's my first time playing it, so I guess I'm trying to be a smartass, despite the fact that I didn't even complete the game and there are guides for Hades already. Like, why am I even talking about the game? I should be like screaming my opinions. And anyway, this fat enemy glove thingy, I forgot its name. I never cared to learn, to be honest. He's kicking my ass somehow. Wow, that's pretty good. Anyway.
Got me. No way to patch up. Got to keep going.
Look, Zagreus, stop complaining. Like, you're a cool guy. You're quippy. You're the Devil May Cry style hero that this story needs. But god damn it, guy, stop complaining. I know I'm the shit player.
Coin for Charon.
Anyway, I think it's warranted for me to explain what I mean when I say it's a Devil May Cry style hero. Well, at least as far as I see it, Dante is kind of a prototypical action hero. Or actually, a Japanese reimagining of the traditional 90s to 80s action hero. It has all the goofiness of those guys with much worse lines because of translation and just in general trying to make up for how he doesn't sound that cool by being cool in cutscenes, which works most of the time. I forgot what. Oh yeah, this.
Here. Where now?
However, this is a situation where the lightning boom was actually better than the Hades version of this effect because it deals damage instantaneously and it's literally just enough damage to go through. And I think that's pretty neat. Like, even the fact that they are very similar, they both just give extra damage, they have their own unique properties that make them different from each other enough to the point where you have to consider if you want one or the other. And I find that pretty good game design actually. Even if I still think those two specific are too similar. They have their applications. Sorry for keeping quiet. I'm trying to get to Zagria because that's the first time I'm going to have something completely different to say. Oh, we're here, baby.
Keep me going for a bit.
Okay. Boom. Let's get some more narration.
Beyond the present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying dangers far beyond the Underworld Prince's reckoning.
And I can reckon quite a bit.
Anyway, when you get... Oh, okay.
Well,
I forgot.
Halt Zagreus.
Magria, which is Zagreus' previous girlfriend in this continuity, is the final boss of Tartarus. And honestly, she's a pretty good boss. She's a bit basic, but the bullet hell aspect of her fights as she keeps spawning new people is pretty good.
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way. What'll it be?
The Painful Way is of course the name of the OST that plays right here, which is a clever reference, I guess. Anyway, I liked it. And beyond that, there's a mechanic about the bosses of this game that I think is pretty neat. Let's see if I can get past Magria first though.
I'll have to go with the painful way.
Ah, Kino! He said the name of the track!
A man after my own heart.
Hot. The VA work is pretty good too. She dashes and then she will, either dash again or try to do her whip move or do one after the other. It's not that complicated really. Like phase 1 Zagria is pretty Magria. It's not that cool at all. Like you stomp her. It's not that hard at all. But then she does this. It is a pretty cool move. Ow. Range is key. Ow. I'm misjudging my range all the time right now. Well, I'm not even talking, I'm still losing, so I can't even like try to pretend it's because I'm talking that my gameplay is way worse than the last time I did this. But at least I got to her, which is an upgrade. Anyway, I think Hades also balances pretty well the level of static upgrades and like
cheers for that, Meg.
upgrades you lose each run. Like the blessings from the gods are pretty cool, but the static upgrades that you get with you forever are somehow even better.
What?
Hello there, boy.
Oh, wow, so Megara herself got you last time. That must have been intense. She's fast and strong and beautiful. And, anyway, I hope the fates are nicer to you next time.
Yeah, I hope so too. Someone's at the desk next to the throne. Who's that sniveling shade to your immediate left there, Father? Already found someone new to do the busy work. And here I thought I was utterly indispensable.
That shade boy is my newly designated contractor. One whose responsibility is to work on this house. Though who shall pay for everything my subjects here demand, I do not know.
You're trying to guilt me into funding the exorbitant furnishings you desire.
Perhaps once we are finished with repairs for all the carnage you have sown throughout my realm, then we might finally have time for all the needed renovations that have piled up.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to be very honest. The idea that there are like renovations that have piled up in hell is like a way to give relatable, real world things to gods. even though like there's no way that will actually happen. And there's a level of suspicion of disbelief to like this whole mechanic of, oh, we have to do renovations because we don't have enough time and money. People are short-staffed in hell just like in the real world. Isn't that funny? And like, I get it. I get why you do it. And I love it. I love it, folks. I love when hell is just as shitty as the real world, not even shittier. Oh boy, I sure do love it. But I do think it's like a big leap of faith that I have to do for the game, and I do it I do it without a and I will do it without a second thought, because honestly, the gameplay implications that this causes are too cool for me to deny it. Like this.
Sort of special offer for me, my good shade.
Falcon chambers are pretty cool.
The depths of Tartarus sounds like an excellent idea.
And this fated list is also pretty good too. I already got some of them completed in my other save.
Darkness guide you, child. You have outgrown this house. Of that I am now certain. Should you return again here, I shall keep you safe.
I won't forget you, Nyx, I swear it.
You know, despite the animosity that's kinda going to grow between them as Hades will realize that like Nyx is not her mother, his mother or whatever, they still have a pretty good relationship.
Mirror of Night.
This is a pretty good power-up.
Looking good.
It basically a second life, which is broken, honestly. And yeah, I got to the first boss. I talked a lot, more than I expected. So we're going to pick it up next time.